long, long ago. Far, far away. Before there was rain, and even before there was a Lion King, there was a man, and his name was Noah.
Hi, I am Noah 2000. Long ago, I knew a mother. You see, there was a certain mother who had 2 sons. The mother's name was Marva, and the younger son's name was Enrique. That happens to be Uncle Minnie's middle name. Well, one day, Enrique, after sitting around just a week after his 3rd birthday, decided, I'm old enough, I want my inheritance, and I want to go. So he came to his mom, and he said, Mom, I want my inheritance, and I want to go. Mom did a strange thing. She went and got him his inheritance. Now, unlike in the Bible, his inheritance wasn't money. His inheritance was candy. Oh, there was a room in the back of the house full of candy. It had been saved for him for the day that he would leave. Well, he went into the back, so did Mom, and they started loading it onto his Thomas the Train wagon. But it was so much, he needed a second wagon, so they loaded it on the second wagon. And yes, they needed a 3rd Thomas the Train wagon. Hooked them all together. Enrique, at age 3, was ready to go into a faraway land. That just meant he was going all the way to the end of the block. He was only 3. Well, once all the candy was in the wagons, he pushed the button on the very first wagon to hear his Thomas the Train music. He pushed it. Music was done, and so he grabbed the wagon and started to drag it up the hill. He lived on Florence and 9th Avenue in Los Angeles. You got to be careful. Up the hill. Hey, wait a second, I live there. I don't know what that means. All right, up the hill, he's dragging all of that candy. But do you know what? Candy, even in wrappers, smells so good. So that all the neighborhood kids smelled that candy, just like a mouse smells cheese right in the middle of one of those sticky traps. Well, the kids came out from that side, Sandra and Simona. The kids came out from that side, Lisa and Leon. The kids came out from that side, Shadell, and that was her name. Well, as they followed that candy up the block, finally, Enrique made it to the end of the block. And do you know what those kids did with that candy? Oh, they started eating some of it here, eating some of it there, eating. I didn't even tell you the types of candies that he took. There's a long list. Listen carefully and see if any of your favorites are on there. The candies that they were eating were Snickers, Milky Way, Three Musketeers, Baby Ruth, Heath Bar, Mars Bar, Butterfingers, Twix, Kit Kat, Peter Paul's Almond Joys, They Got Nut, Mounds Don't, M&M's, Skittles, Lemonheads, Alexander the Grape. I love those. Boston Baked Beans. Yes, beans are candy. Jelly beans. See? I told you. He had a Pop Rocks, Sugar Babies, Marshmallows, Cotton Candy, Jolly Ranchers. They were grape, apple, cherry, Cocoa Puffs, Frosted Flakes, Honey Nut Cheerios. I know they're cereal, but cereal candy just about the same. All right, so they were eating and eating, having a good time with all his new friends until finally the candy was gone. And guess who else was gone? All those friends that came out of the woodwork, Lisa and Leon, Sandra and Simona, and yes, Shadell. They were gone. We're near the end of the story. What would he do at the end of the block? It's been so long. 45 minutes he's been gone. He's only 3. Gone so long. He needed something to eat. All the candy was gone. He barely got any. And then a great idea came into his head. I can go to the house of the old lady with all the cats. And I can work for her, and I can get something to eat. And so he went to the house of the lady who sold the katydids with all the cats. And so he was helping out, and it was dinner time, not for him, but for the cats. And you won't believe what happened next. The old lady who had whiskers herself grabbed the fancy feast, and she threw it out into the yard, and she grabbed the other type of cat food and threw it out the Purina cat chow. And as all the meow, 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 meow cats went to eat their food, guess who ran after them? That's right, Enrique in his pull-ups, and something was starting to smell, ran to where the cats were about to eat, and he got down on his knees. He leaned forward, down to where the cat food was, until opening his mouth, he thought, hey, wait a second. Mama's got food at home. What am I doing? This is crazy. She has more applesauce than anyone could ever eat all by themselves. We're at the end now. Just like in Luke 15, the boy came to himself. You'll understand that when you get older. And he decided, I'm going to go home and tell Mom I'm sorry and beg her to just have applesauce and no candy. And so he started coming home, step by step, step by step. But do you know what? As he got closer and closer, he saw someone out in front of the gate looking down the road. Do you know who that was? That's right, it was his mom. His mom was out there waiting for him to come home, and even though he went away, when he got back to her, he said, Mom, I'm so sorry, and I made stinking poop in my pull-ups. His mom said, don't worry, I knew you made it before you left. And then Enrique said, well, okay, that explains why the flies were following me. But we're at the end, we're at the lesson. It goes like this. Not only did Mom give him brand new pull-ups, but do you know what Mom also did? She threw him a great big party at Chuck E. Cheese with all the pizza he could have and all the friends that he could have. And what's true is that if you ever go away from Jesus, and again, your parents will have to explain what that means to you, just know that whenever you choose, not only can you come back, but Jesus is going to be waiting for you, and he's going to throw a great big party because you came back. The last thing I should say to you, boys and girls, there was an older brother. His name is Rick Kirby. And when he found out about the party, have your parents read Luke 15 to you. They'll let you know what happened. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pray that you always remember the lesson that if you ever go away from Jesus, he'll wait for you to come back. And I hope what's also true is if you ever go away from your parents, mom or dad, they'll be waiting for you too. Everybody close your eyes and bow your heads. Dear Jesus, thank you for the boys and girls who sit in front of me. Thank you for the great story that you told, the prodigal son, the wasteful son, giving them the lesson that it's true. If they ever go away from you, they can come back. And not only will you wait for them, but you'll throw a great big party. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.